wherever you want to go, you have to go step by step. Like if
Yes.
you think that you will be Sashi Tharoor in a month, you can't.
If you are a good listener, then only you can become a good speaker. So, hi, Ashutosh, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your
Yeah,
day going?
I'm perfectly fine. My day is going fine. I'm at home, so I don't have any classes today. So, first of all, I want you to introduce yourself to the people, those who are going to watch this video.
Yeah, for sure. So thanks for giving this wonderful opportunity to introduce myself. As you know, my name is Ashutosh Trivedi, and I'm speaking to you from Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. About my education, I'm pursuing my master's, that is Masters of Arts in English Literature. And apart from this, I run a YouTube channel which is based on spoken English conversations. So that's all about me. Thanks.
Oh, that's great. And most of your videos are very well received by the audience. So,
Thanks.
congratulations, you are doing really good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So, today I'll be going for a Q&A session. I hope it is all right with you.
Yeah, why not? For sure.
So, as you have already introduced yourself and you have said that you are running a YouTube channel. So, when did you decide to come on YouTube?
Yeah, so I started my spoken English journey as far as I remember on 29th April 2020.
Okay.
So so when I started my spoken English journey, I came across few of my friends and they requested me to start my YouTube channel for boosting my confidence because if I would record myself, I would become better. So I started my channel on 10th March 2021. So that
Okay.
was the day when I started my YouTube channel.
You precisely remembered everything.
Yes, I just, I want to keep all those things in my mind because those are really important for me.
So, how has your journey been so far as a learner of English? I know you are a
It's been
teacher.
fantastic. Not a teacher, of course. I'm a helper for others. I want to
Mhm.
help them so they can speak better English. But being spoken English, like, the learner, I learned a lot by interacting with the people. I have completed more than 15,000 conversations till now in from 29th April to 2022 till now. So I have done a lot of conversations like, globally. And it was a great, like, experience. Along with English, I understood a lot of things about life because by knowing their how they're spending their life and what they do, what about their job, so I learned a lot from it and I became better. And not better, but of course I can say I can speak a little, so I can talk to the people. Along with that, I learned a lot by interacting with the people. So I'm about to complete 4 years.
Mhm. That's a huge number. And one thing that is striking me right now is that after having so many conversations, so do you remember any conversation where you enjoyed the most? I know you enjoyed most of the conversation. One conversation that simply something that clicks your mind that this is the conversation that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, when I was not on YouTube, I used to have very long conversations for 2 hours and 3 hours like that. Like I still remember the longest conversation. It was 3 hours, 48 minutes something.
Yes.
So I used to have a lot of conversations and long conversations because when you go for the session of 5 minutes, like only introductory part, right? You wouldn't be able to tell
Mhm.
a lot of things
Yes.
about yourself and you
Right.
wouldn't be able to explore English. So that was the conversation, which was great. I have done with a guy from Mumbai, so I can't remember his name. It's been very long, but we used to like talk through WhatsApp groups. There were several WhatsApp groups, and I had been member of more than 50 WhatsApp groups. So
Amazing.
where I would leave my number for 20 times, 25 times that I'm free for conversation, and I would do conversation with the people. So that was a great conversation, and sometimes few of my friends and the learners, they would tell their love story. So it was very interesting sometimes, and I would give them sympathy that yeah, fine, it would be okay.
Yeah.
So such kind of conversations were really good, and sometimes they would talk about their family problems. So I was very sympathetic and empathetic for them that it's okay, you can do something better for yourself and your family. So those conversations were really nice. But on YouTube also, it's good. But now it's a little different from that
Mhm.
perspective. Uh,
Those huge numbers that you have talked about, many groups and so many hours of conversations, different interactions. So, how do you simply take time out for yourself? Because I think most of the time is dedicated to learning and speaking, answering WhatsApp queries.
Yeah. So basically I was a commerce student and I was pursuing my bachelor's degree from Banaras. But unfortunately I was back to my hometown due to COVID-19. So I
Mhm.
had nothing special to do and I was not interested in online classes. So from the time I just, I would open my eyes, I would start listening, watching, talking with the people in English. And the end of the day also I would do the same. So that's how it was. So I had a lot of time in COVID period, so I used to interact with the people for 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, like that.
Mhm.
One day I have done on 29th November or something like that, 2020, it was 10 hours. I spoke to
10
people for 10
hours.
hours. So, and how I used to do that? First, I started my practicing on Buddy Talk. That was a free platform. And then Hollow, another application. And then WhatsApp groups and Clubhouse, Hi Local, be Angrej, is Fluency. I have explored many platforms where I used to interact with the people. So that's how I was able to do it. And I was totally free to do it because I was enjoying it. So I thought, why not to do this
So
whole day?
you utilized your COVID-19 pandemic time. So you uh, took a lot of lessons from that by talking to people. I don't remember what was the last time I talked to my wife for 10 hours in a day. So as you are pretty much exposed to online stuff, online teaching, online talking and all, so now you are into teaching also. So when did you decide to give classes, online classes?
I'm not very much into teacher, and I can't say I'm a full-fledged trainer or teacher.
Mhm,
I'm just exploring and enjoying. So I want to get a little bit money to
mhm,
for bearing my expenses. That's what I do it. But what happened when I was on YouTube and I used to interact with the people? So I got two students from Canada. So basically, they were from Punjab but living in Canada. They were preparing
mhm,
for IELTS to get PR, permanent residence. So through reference, they got me and they requested me to train them. So it was in 2021, okay, beginning of
mhm,
2021. Then I said,
mhm.
okay, I would do it, and I started doing it. That's from that point of time I started helping others to speak better English. So two people from Canada, they were my first students. So
So I think full-fledged teacher is not something that you are after. So,
yes, yeah,
but
exactly.
sometime I think that it's like, don't you think that teaching, like a teacher's shoes are quite big to fill, like too big to fill?
Yes, they are, of course, nowadays, but it depends on a person to person, right? So, what they want from their life. And you are totally into that, and you are in Delhi, you're teaching, training. But for me, it's a little different, right? So, but of
Mhm,
course, they are doing well, and nowadays, it's great thing. What can I say? Like being a teacher, it's always great because you
mhm.
are giving the light to the students, and they are able
Yes.
to just do something in their life.
Yeah, the torchbearer. So
Mhm,
one thing that is in my mind that I wanted to ask before starting this particular conversation, that you have been exploring many websites and many applications, and you have to talk to numerous people. So if
mhm,
somebody is going to start his speaking journey, so where should
mhm.
that person start? Because you are the one who can give them right direction or refined search, because when we go online there are a number of people, they claim that you can learn English in 30 days, 15 days, or 2 months. So what is your take on that?
I don't really think so that anybody can train somebody in 30 days and make an expert or make an American speaker. It's not so true. Like for me, it's been 4 years almost, and I'm still struggling. Sometimes, most of the time, I make mistakes, and I believe in patience. And I tell people the truth that don't speak a lie to them that you can be in 30 days, 45 days. That's not right.
Mhm,
So you, yes, in 3 months, 6 months, you will be able to introduce yourself and you will be able to hold a conversation for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. But if you think that you will be Shashi Tharoor, that's not true. So you have to work really hard for it and you have to be engrossed with the language as much as you can. So there is no point in saying like within by speaking 15 minutes you can become an expert. Not at all. If you will give whole day also, that's not enough. So for me, it's something where you need a lot of time, and it depends on you where you wanna see yourself.
And
So
where to start from? Like as you said that you have been to many applications and many more websites and interactive sessions. So if someone is
we
looking forward to
start.
starting, yes.
Yeah, it depends on a person. Like if they feel they are good enough and they know basic grammar, they can start by listening and watching the content in English, and they can do practice as well. What I say to the people that it is very important to do like two things, like listening, like it will give you just exposure that how to speak
Mhm.
and speaking. So both things are important. If you are only listening, you wouldn't be able to speak, and if you are speaking only, you wouldn't be able to understand language. So both two things together. So I say to the people, listen, watch, and talk as much as you can. So if they feel they are good enough in grammar, they can introduce themselves. So directly they can go on applications like nowadays. Sometimes I talk on Be Angrage. So there you can talk and you can speak to people for 10 minutes, 10 minutes. So that's how you can do it, and try to listen as much as you can. And if you, because I have seen people who are thinking that they can be an expert by reading grammar rules only, but if you're reading grammar deeply, that is not going to make you a speaker. Until unless you're not going to speak these mouth muscles, you're not going to be a good speaker. So it is very
And
important
who's
for you
going
to
to draw
do.
the line? What is like enough or what is more than enough? Like if somebody's into learning grammar, sometimes they get lost into learning or cramming a lot of vocabulary, which is not worth using sometime. So they do not know how to pick a certain words which are going to be very beneficial or which are going to add new feathers in their conversation. So what do you want to suggest on that?
So for that, like they need trainers like you who can just suggest them that that now it's time to speak, not only going very deep into it. And vocabulary, idioms, phrases, it depends, it's choice. I don't say to the people it's compulsion. You can be a great speaker by speaking simple common words. I say to the people to be like simple and clear, and just speak slow. So speak slowly, speak clearly, and speak like the common things like that. So you don't have to speak like Shashi Tharoor. So that is the thing. So if you feel like you can introduce yourself and you can talk a little, so just start practicing like conversations. Don't go for the vocabulary. People are like after vocabulary always, that sir, I don't know these words, how can I speak English? Fine, use common words. Who's saying just you to speak only like advanced words?
So most of the time, these people come across the pattern that is followed by SSC or some other coaching institutions. So they have typical, difficult, fancy words to cram because that is a part of their test or some examinations which are being conducted by different various organizations. So when these students come to learn, so then it is very different kind of a feeling. And when they are talking to somebody, it is quite intimidating for a person who is just a beginner and the other person doesn't even understand that that person is not able to understand those words. So if somebody is kind of a student like this, so what is your approach when somebody is coming with a lot of vocabulary and that person does not know the context, I must say. So how do you tackle this situation?
Yeah, exactly. When you don't know the context, of course, no value of having a lot of vocabulary in your pockets,
Mhm,
right? So already you should always know that where to use.
mhm,
Otherwise, no meaning in it. And second thing, what is the meaning of a good communicator? That you have to adjust yourself according to audience. You don't have to speak like Sashi Tharoor in slums, okay? You
mhm,
speak like a normal guy so they can understand you 100%. Your message should be like conveyed in a way you want to. If you are in the UK, for sure you can speak whatever you want to. But I see people like they have this kind of behavior that they know a lot of vocabulary, idioms, phrases.
mhm.
No man, I can't speak normal English because I'm a great speaker. But that's not good. If you're talking to someone who is not able to understand you, then what is the meaning of being a communicator? So
So you are saying that there should be certain adaptability. They should adapt to
yes,
the
where are
situation.
you speaking?
Yes.
Hmm.
And if somebody is starting from very scratch and that person is not able to frame even simple sentences, so how do you go about?
I if he's not able to just frame a sentence, first I recommend them to take a little time and watch and content and listen, watch and do all those things. LSRW. Then what I will recommend him, I will ask basic questions to him. That do you meet your neighbors? Just do you go to college? So he doesn't have to answer a very long detailed
Mhm.
answer. Only yes, I go to college. I do it. And if he makes mistake, I'll just give him feedback. I'll try to correct him and I will just, tell the way that how can you do that. So in the beginning, start with the only one single sentence answer, two line answers. They
Mhm.
are not able to explain that much, but literally they will be able to do it when they watch content, listen conversations, and listen also. Listen the live conversations people do it, because this gives you an idea
Mhm.
that how if you will get the same question, how will you answer? Because most of the questions are same, right? Like as
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
have done more than 300 videos, maybe on more than 250 topics. So other people also, they will come across the same kind of questions.
Yes.
That tell me about your hometown, just what do you like about your hometown. So when you listen somebody who is answering the same question, you can just answer the same.
Okay, and one thing that I
Mhm.
heard that was LSRW, something that you talked about. Can you shed some more light onto that?
Yeah, that is L for listening, of course, and S for speaking, R for reading, and W for this writing. So these are the
Nice
four pillars
acronym.
of the language. Yeah.
Yes, even I use one acronym that is like KISS, not K, like it represents KISS. Keep it simple and short. So,
Uh-huh.
but students, they want to be like Shashi Tharoor, as you said that they want to see themselves as the Shashi Tharoor of Indian politics.
Mhm.
So sometimes it is quite difficult to make them understand. So how do you make them understand? Because sometimes they are quite impatient. They want to learn everything in an overnight.
Yeah, so the first thing, in the first condition, like when they do the conversation with me for the first time, I make them understand that what kind of person I am. And if you are fine with me, I will not be able to make you Shashi Tharoor. If you are agree with me, say yes, otherwise go to somebody else who can make you Shashi Tharoor. So my concept is quite clear. And if somebody asks me to go very deep into grammar, to be honest, I say that personally, I don't know a lot of grammar. I learned by listening and
Mhm.
doing the conversation. So it's practical. So I wouldn't be able to tell a lot of reasons behind it and things. So if you want a better grammar teacher, opt for somebody else. Okay, so I don't force them to be my just to learn from me. So that's what the concept I do. And second thing I tell them, that you have to just wherever you want to go, you have to go step by step. Like if
Yes.
you think that you will be Sashi Tharoor in a month, you can't be. So the first, try to just learn the basic English and hold the conversation for a few minutes, then think about it. Then it's up to you. If I'm training you for the 3 months and you are able to talk with people for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, after that it depends on your expertise where you want to go. Maybe you can learn whole 10,000 vocabulary, 20,000 vocabulary, and you can become
Mhm.
an idiom expert or phrases expert.
Yes.
So it's up to you. But I can give you that basic stage that you can speak, and after that you can just do whatever you want to.
And now,
Because
$1 million
teachers
question
can't
is
make you Einstein, okay?
yes,
Teacher can make you a good student, but Einstein you have to become by yourself.
yes. And $1 million question is that a lot of students often ask this question that I am able to understand English, but when it comes to speaking in English, so I find myself in deep trouble. So, what do you want to suggest on that? That is the most asked question, I must say that.
Because understanding is really different from it, and we live in India, so most of the time, sometimes and most of the time, we hear teachers speaking in
Mhm.
English and we can understand that. But when it comes to speaking totally depend on this like your mouth muscles. As I say, if you want to get just become a bodybuilder, you have to go to gym, right? You
Yes.
need the practice for that. The same, like if you want to become a speaker, you have to speak.
Speak.
Then only it is going to be fit into your mouth, your teeth, your tongue, your jaw. So it is very important for you to speak. So if you understand, but try to speak at the same point of time, because understanding is totally different from it. And personally, I'm telling you, a lot of people, they are not able to even understand, When they say I am understanding and I understand,
Mhm.
they understand 30% and 40%. Sometimes I'm not able to understand. If I listen to Shashi Tharoor or maybe Elon Musk, I wouldn't be able to understand the 100% context what he's talking about. Okay. So, but the people, when they say that they are able to understand, means they are able to, like, understand the essence of it, but they don't understand totally 100%. So for that, try to listen. Just attentive listening is really important. And then you have to speak also. Try to do speaking practice every day. Consistency is really important for that.
Yeah, there are certain words that people are able to understand. Just on the basis of that, they understand the whole sentence. They think that they are able to understand the whole a bunch of sentences. Even I
Yeah, even
ask a
though I
question.
used to do the same. Yeah, when I was in like fifth or sixth standard, if I would get a question and would get a term related to any chapter, I would understand that question is all about this and write the answer. But I was not able to understand the whole question. What he, like, the what was the meaning of that question. So
Even if whenever somebody claims that he is able to understand, so sometime I ask a question, can you tell me about your name? So they simply tell me their name rather than telling me about their name. So that's what I ask, so that I can understand their understanding. Then I make them understand that sometime you need to pay a lot of heed to your listening, because
mhm.
if you are a good listener, then only you can become a good speaker. So we have a
Yeah.
preconceived notion that if somebody is asking a question and it has tell me and name, so it means that person is asking about my name.
Yes, exactly.
So it's nice talking to you. You have answered all those questions with a lot of enthusiasm, and a lot of your expertise is behind those questions and answers. So I hope we will also have more interactive sessions like this. So I'm looking forward to future more future conversations.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. Thank you so much for
Thank you
inviting
very
me.
much for giving your time. I really appreciate that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye
Take
bye.
care.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.